Good morning, everyone. It's Lee Henson, president and founder of AgileDad, and it's time for today's episode of the Daily Standup. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Today, I wanted to talk to you about something that comes up as a conversation every time I have my students in class watch a video. So, let's cut to the chase. The video in question is a video called Agile Product Ownership in a Nutshell by Heinrich Nieberg. It was recorded back in 2012, and let me tell you, if you haven't watched this video, it is a fantastic depiction of all the things that a product owner is asked to do and how to interact with the team. And it really does a fantastic job. I still use it today to teach my students many valuable principles that they can take away with them after taking any AgileDad class. But one of the things that stands out in the video, every time I ask students, what's one of the things that stands out in the video? Because I really want to know what they took away to make sure that they have everything down. The one thing that they always point out is that he has an image of the product owner where when they're having requests that come into them from different stakeholders, that they say no, and there's a waste bin, and those items get dropped into a waste bin. And only the items that are pre-vetted, pre-qualified, and in good rapport make it actually to the backlog. And the answer that I get from many of these folks is, man, I sure wish I could do that. I sure wish I was better at saying no. So I wanted to give you a guide from an engineer's perspective of 5 different ways to say no, 5 different things you could do to say no. The first technique for saying no is called the pause. Now, here's how it's done. You might say something like, let's take a step back and map out what needs to be done. I can't commit to anything until we have a clear understanding of what you're asking for. That's a great way to say no. This is when you use it. You should use it when people are racing ahead to get things done, but haven't really thought through what's actually required or haven't thought through the consequences of what's going to happen. So both of those are applicable reasons for the pause. And the reason it works is something that is research proven. So it's research driven. According to Michael Lopp, he's the author of Managing Humans, this tactic forces everyone to slow down and think. Saying no is saying stop. And in a valley full of people who thrive on endless movement, the ability to strategically choose when it's time to stop is a sign of a manager willing to defy normal convention. I thought that was pretty cool. That's a good way to look at it, right? And that's the pause. So that's a good one. The second one's called the agreement. Now, I've used the agreement lots of times before, but here's how to do it. I'm trying to think of a good example. Let's prioritize this and deprioritize the project we talked about last week. We can't fit in both, and this will have a bigger impact. What you're basically saying when you say that is if we do X, we must do Y, that there's a consequence. This is often used when a core idea is good, but project timelines are shifting, things are changing, and you're being asked to pivot or adjust. So another, once again, data-driven proof. Camille Fournier, the author of The Manager's Path, the guide for tech leaders managing growth and change, says, responding with positivity while still articulating the boundaries of reality will get you into the major leagues of senior leadership. If you want to get on your stakeholders' good side, this is the way. It's a powerful tool, but it's still saying no, right? How about this one? The next one's called the commitment. Here's how it's done. Realistically, I can't take this on because I wouldn't be doing it justice. I'm already working on the migration and many other things. There we go. So you're letting people know that you're already committed to other tasks. This is when you use this when you have too many things on your plate and you just won't be able to dedicate the time needed to really do a fantastic job. This works when, or the reason why it works is you're showing that you're true to your word, and that shows others that they can rely on you. So this is one of the 5 Scrum values. This is commitment, right? So Alex Weber, the CGO at N26, said, it's things like being conscious of what you can and cannot do and never promising more that build trust with your team. So if you can figure out what you can and cannot do and never promise more, that's how you're going to build trust with your team. That's how you're going to build trust with your leaders. And this is where I always say in my Scrum classes, I would rather you take one less item and finish everything you commit to consistently than take one extra item and always pass things over from one sprint to the next. You need to make sure that you have a strong, solid foundation to show that you can consistently finish what you're completing or what you're working on. The next no is called the allotment. Here's how to do it. The feature request I'm working on will take another 3 hours. I also have a bug to fix that'll take me roughly 45 minutes, and a refactor that'll obviously take 4 hours or more. As you can see, what you're asking me to do just won't fit. This isn't my favorite one, but what you're basically trying to say is I'm crunched for time, and a new project or task literally just doesn't fit in my day. And I've seen people say, well, work 8 more hours or make your day 25 hours. You can squeeze 1 more hour in your day. And this is a hard one. But the reason psychologically why it works is because in a hypothetical world where perfect things happen, if you show someone how long each thing takes, it helps boost your credibility to say, hey, I can govern my own time, and demonstrates that you have clear ownership of the things that you're being asked to do. This gives everyone involved confidence and shows that when you say no, it's not that you're saying no just to say no, but you just don't have time to justify. You just don't have time to justify taking on something new. And that's what it boils down to. And that is probably another interesting one in the sense that I try not to emphasize time if I don't have to. So in this case, you're drawing focus on time, and that may create bad habits. So for that one, it's one I'd steer shy of or maybe use as a last resort, right? I think the better way is just to make sure they understand that you take ownership of the things that you sign up for. And finally, the twist. Now, here's how to do it. I think that's a good idea, but it doesn't fit in the roadmap as it is. What if it looked like this? Okay. So now what you're doing is reinforcing that someone's idea is a great idea. You're reinforcing that it's a good idea to get on this, and you're reprogramming or regenerating the pivot. I like this one. I use this one a ton. What's being asked of you, when what's being asked of you is realistic, this is the one you want to use. And you want to get to the root of the idea and figure out the why behind the what. This is the right one. So the reason this one works is it helps your team see new possibilities instead of getting caught in one size fits all spandex solution, right? So Stephen Robbins, Steva Robbins, sorry, the co-founder of FTP Software said, uh, questions engage others and reveal more innovative solutions. Don't be afraid to ask the wrong question. I always tell my students that there's no such thing as a wrong question, that whatever question you ask is the right question, because at the time, that's what's driving your curiosity. And curiosity driven is what drives innovation. And innovation is what drives massive improvements to products or services that we build. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Daily Stand Up about saying no. I could call it the Meghan Trainor episode. My name is no. My sign is no. My number is no. You need to let it go, right? But this has been just a fantastic opportunity. As always, we encourage you to tune in to the other episodes of Daily Stand Up. There's over 200 other episodes out there. We'd love to have you listen to all of them and give us some feedback. Give us some comments. You can send your comments and feedback to learn more at agiledad.com, or you can visit agiledad.com where you can learn more about this topic and many others. As always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.